Today's live, I'm going to attempt this painting. It's rather a nice painting. I found it just yesterday. I was cleaning out my room. My son's actually having the room that I had as storage. So this is a photograph that I took many years ago, and it's of the Isle of Wight. I think it's towards Shanklin, and you have really nice cottages in the Isle of Wight, and so you've got lots of thatch roofs, cottages, and all these winding roads, and it's just a really nice place. I lived there quite some time ago, going back to my early, going on 20. So yeah, hopefully I can do this one. It's quite detailed, and so as always, I want to try and break things down and do it as simple as I possibly can. I've got a couple of things in my mind though. I don't know whether you've seen whimsical paintings, so it could be a building and it could be sort of, you'll see what I mean if it goes that way, because of the detail and perspective, straight lines, that sort of thing. I'm working on quite a small. I'm working in my sketchbook. This is the Sea Whites of Brighton. Really good sketchbook. I do enjoy using this one. It's quite new to me, but I enjoy these sketchbooks. And so what I've done on my page that I'm going to be painting on, I have taped it off, so it is quite small. So for me, it's a bit of a challenge to get a painting on such a small space. And so that's why I'm thinking if things go wrong, because if I want to get it more like the photograph, then it's going to be quite a challenge. And so let's just plan out the composition. And like I said, I'm not after exact, just because of the size, and I do struggle painting on a smaller scale. And so it may turn out to be a whimsical. I've always wanted to try one of those whimsical paintings. So if you've seen them, they're just really fun, and hopefully, I'm thinking it may go that way. We'll see. Before I started, I did add a little wash to the paper, so it's not clean white, and hopefully you'll be able to see that once I remove the tape, hopefully. Just a little bit of colour to the paper, so it's not clean white. And so just to give that nice, and I have added tape around the sides, so I want it to be just a nice little painting within this space, if I can get it right. So I'm just going to move the camera as well, just while I get this planning stage, so you can see the reference that I'm working from. Like I said, this is a really nice place, the Isle of Wight. If you've been here in the UK, it's a little island just Portsmouth way, just near Portsmouth. So I'm gonna just try and get things down, not accurate, but I may get into that whimsical sort of aspect. And I suppose we could bend the roof here. I will go for that because it's less of a challenge, and it's a good thing if you're not sure or you struggle with buildings. Maybe you could try doing a whimsical painting. You'll see what I mean as I progress through this painting. I've never actually done one of these whimsical paintings either, so let's see how we get on. So the good thing is you don't have to be exact with the perspectives, anything like that. So if you did want to paint a building and you wasn't quite sure and you got things wrong, you could turn it into one of these whimsical. So it's like you're supposed to do the lines all sort of wavy and things like that. So that's my cop out. That's my excuse for this one. But I do want to try this. It does look fun. I've seen many paintings in this sort of style, and I just haven't got round to doing one yet. So here goes. Hopefully you can't really see that. Let me pull the camera back this way, and so you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, so with this, the lines don't have to be perfect at all. So I'm doing this intentionally, so it gives me a little excuse for things not being so right. And I did actually pop a little bit of colour for the road going through the scene. But it's a really nice drive. It's just a nice part of the world. If you've been to the Isle of Wight, like I said, I did live there for 5 months when I was late teens, and it's just one of those really nice places that I had the privilege of living. So you can see, just using those bent lines and fun sort of, it's almost like Salvador Dali, sort of his paintings where you got lots of, oh hi Aman, how are you? Thanks for joining, I really do appreciate it. One of the things I've also found when I was cleaning out the room, I've found which ones that I lost the Tombow markers, so I may be using these as well. I really did miss using those when I lost them. There was a few times when I was looking and I just wanted to use these. They would have been perfect in a few paintings that I've done. And they're just black and grey scale that I've got. You can get colour in them, but I just got the six-pack of black and grey. You've also got a white and a blender brush in there. So the brush is on one side and like a tip pen on the other. And they are water soluble, so that's what I like about them. And you can use them in your watercolor as well. So really, really nice to use, incorporate with the watercolor. There's a little fence coming here. And let's just, there we go. So like I said, if you're looking for perfection, then this isn't the one for you. But yeah, I'm just gonna plan things down. And I did say in my last video, this is a really sort of important part of the painting process. When you're planning your sketch down, it's good to get things fairly accurate. But obviously it doesn't count in this one because it's going to be all skew-whiff, and there's a little roof coming through here, so I'll include that. This is one of the thatch roof cottages, which are absolutely, if you've seen those, they're just so nice to look at. And I'm going to include this tree coming from the background there. So yeah, this roof comes right down, and there's a little, it's kind of hard with the water jars, but I'm going to pop the ground in there like that. I'm going to put the doorway just there. So it does look off, but I think it could make a nice painting. Let's see how we go. And I will get to your comments just shortly. So just bear with me while I just plan this stage out. But I do like these style of paintings, and because you've got perspective, it's a difficult one to do with if you wanted to be precise and wanted to get things the way they look anyway. So you've got a few perspectives there, and let's see, you've got a window that you can just see popping out here. So of course I'll include that one, and it's one of these sort of windows that you have squares, and then let's see, so I'm just going to draw this line here. Although there isn't a line, you can't see, I'm just using that to indicate the corner of the building, and then a window, and there is a little bit of a roof coming here. So it's not looking it's not looking anything at the moment, but if you bear with me, we'll get through this painting and hopefully do it some justice. So there we go, these nice thatch roofs, absolutely stunning, and you find these mostly down in the south of the UK, and I just really like the look of these buildings. Let's shade some of these in so I know where the shadows or the darker colours are. And there we go. Okay, so it's looking a little bit wobbly, which is what I want. This is the Whimsical painting, so that's exactly what I'm after. I can't read that, there's a little sign on the fence here. I can't read what it says, but we do have this nice tea shop. Little sign, it's a tea shop, so I'll get that in. Tea shop. I'm gonna write it underneath because I'm running out of room for this, but I'll have it there instead. Now I'm gonna add some colour, and I'm thinking also I'm not sure if I want to go for the exact colours. I may just use different colours on this one, I'm not sure. I was drinking my cup of tea as well. So let's go in with some colours. So I'm looking at the roof, and let me pop you back. So on the roof we've got, I'm going to use yellow ochre for the first colour. Yellow ochre, bit of grey that's already on my palette. I'm using my White Nights palette. So I'm used to this palette now, and it's a really nice set of watercolours. So I'll just give this a little wash, and let's add a little bit more yellow ochre to that mix. That's the colour that I can see in the reference, so it's quite nice. And just do the other side of the roof. And I'm not bothered if it does run down into the building, that doesn't bother me whatsoever. And then you got this other roof, which is more of a red colour. So I'm just popping a little bit of red, and I don't know what red this is. Probably a cad red into the mix that I've done for the first roof. And I think it needs to be a bit more red, but there we go. We've got that. Oh, I nearly dipped my brush in my cup of tea. Anyone who paints watercolor, you got to watch. If you've got a brew that you're drinking while you paint, just be mindful. I've not done it yet, but that was close. I nearly had yellow ochre in my tea paint. That wouldn't have been a good idea. So just added that colour to that roof now. And I want some grey now in the window, this window here. And let's go for these windows. I'm just wondering if I can use my Tombow markers, because I've just found them, and this I'm excited to have those again. So I may use those as well. So let's see. And then I'm going to go for these chimneys, which are, I guess they're like porcelain, and they're red, on the red tone. So just add those as well. And there we go. So let's see what you're saying. Okay, thank you for the likes. Anyone who joins this live, or if you're going to watch this on replay, don't forget to hit the like. I really do appreciate that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in and with a pen, let's see, 0.5, I don't want that. I want something a bit finer, so 0.2. 0.2 in these micron pens is my go-to. I do enjoy this size. So let me move these jars slightly, and don't want to do that. I don't like having my brushes sat in water. I've seen many artists do that, and I just think, no, look after your brushes. I don't think that's good for a brush, just leaving it in water. So there we go. This is a little sign. It's a bit different to the reference, but it doesn't matter. There we go, tea shop. And let's just, we can use the pen now. I'm going to draw in the fence while my paint dries. Just gives it time. I know with watercolors it can be a bit of a nightmare waiting for your pigment to dry, especially when you're doing a live stream. It can go against you sometimes. You don't have the luxury of waiting around, that sort of thing, so you got to sort of just get on with it. And sometimes it doesn't come out too well when things start, when it's not quite dry. So I'm going to go in with my liner brush now. So this is number 2 liner. So it's got a nice long tip, you can see. And I'm just going to go in. It's a light sort of brown mix for the trees. These are just bare trees. I think it was, when did I live there? it was maybe coming out of summertime, I'm not sure, I can't remember. It's a long time ago. So I'm just adding some of these trees, and there's some just coming over the top of the tea shop. So let me just add those. Like so. And maybe I can add some to the fence. I will do. So I'm just going to grab a smaller brush as well. So this fence is like a brown colour. Let me just pop you back. I don't know whether if you can see. It's, but yeah, the fence just off the cottages, just by the road. So let me add some brown to those. Like I said, I may go in and use my Tombow markers, just because I've found them and I can do. Let me know if you do use markers in your paintings. What sort of markers do you use? Have you tried the Tombows? Really nice to use. And again, they're water soluble, so they do. You can add water to them and get sort of shadows and things like that in your painting. So let me come back. Just going to move the camera again. I know it's not the best, but it is what it is. So I'm going to just come in with the path. There's a path coming through the scene. It's sort of, there's a bend in the road, so I'm going to go that way, like that. And I'm just going to start adding a few lines to this. Different areas, chimney and that sort of thing. There's a bit of a line on this one. Let me see if I can just take out a little bit of pigment here and there, just to give me a chance to go in over. I'm tempted to sit down. I don't know whether I usually paint standing, but I think for this one I do want to sit down. My tea's gone cold now, so it's not going to distract me. Okay. I'm looking at these Tombows. I've not used them for a long time. So let me see. So this is the black Tombow N15. I think that's what it's known as. And you can see I got this brush tip. And it may be too bold, but let me know what you think. I think that's too bold. Maybe for the windows, something like that. But I'm just going to go in with pen instead. Let me go where I know I can get away with adding pen. It's sort of drying. And so that's that window. There's a little slight sort of blinds in the window, so I'm just adding those. like I say, it's just a fun little sketch. Nothing too serious. Move my chair closer, and so yeah, it's just a fun little sketch, and in a style that's just a bit different, something a little bit different. But I do like these sort of whimsical sketches. I'm just going in now, maybe with the Tombow, because that will fill the area quicker than a micron pen. It's a lot thicker, you can see the tip. It's really nice. And like I said, if you wanted, you could always add water to this, and it would blend and mix. So let me just use it here. So it's great to use with your watercolors for those darker tones and shadows and things like that. It does go quite well. And I'm just going to add, there's a little window here as well. And I'm going to go, there we go, like that. Just to add to the quirkiness of the painting. So there we go, nice and quirky. And maybe I can go in and add line to these windows and doors now. So I'm going to do that. See the squares on this window. And then there's another window here. I'm going to colour in that. It's just dark one side. It looks like maybe there's a window open. So you've got this nice dark tone. So it's just nice to add that for the contrast. The dark and light, and then there's two sort of little panes of glass. That pen's not working in these little areas, so let me just grab the Tombow and just add these two like so, and maybe I should add this on the other side as well, so it gives that nice contrast. And you've got a window, there's a window here. And then there is a line for the door, which sits there. There's a little something coming down. I think it's some sort of, what do you call it? Something over the door. I don't even know what it's called. But I had that anyway. And let's see. Oh, hi Susan. How are you doing? Nice to see you. I know you're always joining, but you're probably getting ready for work right now. Is that right? Thanks for joining. I do appreciate you being here. Oh, this pen has seemed to packed in. I don't know what's going on there. But let me add a little bit of dark in this doorway. So how are you doing, Susan? Hopefully you're well. Susan from Artfully Becoming, that's her channel. Check it out if you want to check her artwork. She's a newbie to watercolors, but she's doing fantastically well. Now there is another roof here which I failed to paint, so let me mix up a little bit of yellow ochre, a bit of brown. Okay, that's the colour. So this one, sort of, you can see I'm using a big brush, still on a big-ish brush, and you can see where I've touched that marker and you got a little bit of bleed out, but I'm not, again, this is a whimsical painting. I'm not fussed about things like that. It sort of looks quite nice. It looks quite nice and offers something to the painting, so I'm happy to just leave that, go with the flow. And I'm going to grab my marker again, and maybe actually, because I've got different, this is the black that I'm using, I'm going to go for the next tone down, which is the grey. You can see that. And this is N45, which I think that's how you refer to them. And just going to use the grey now just to do some of the line work. And I think that's quite nice. This is like some sort of drain pipe coming down. And let me see, maybe I can colour in. It's a bit dark. I'm going to leave that. Maybe just a bit. Let me see. Okay, like I said, I've not used these Tombows for some time, but I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Let me just touch a little bit of water into that and see what happens. Show you what we get. So you can see it's just moving a little bit, it's softening, it's blending. So yeah, they're really, really nice. And I do recommend if you like to paint in watercolors, I recommend these Tombow markers. You can get some nice shadows and things like that once you mix with water. I'm just going in now, adding that. A bit of a roof. And I'm gonna do the same as that side. I'm gonna mix some of this marker, Tombow marker, with the roof, so it sort of blends and sort of sits in. I like that. Let me know what you think. There we go. See, I do like the look of that. I do like the look of that. What do you think? I'm going to add a little bit of a colour. I mean, this building's white, and so there's not really like any colours, but I think it'd be nice just to add a little bit, very subtle, add a little bit of colour to that, and it just gives a little bit more. Because it just looks, I mean, there's no blue sky in this scene. So it's like a white sky and a white building. It doesn't really offer much for the eye. So I'm just gonna go in and improvise, make my own little scene from the reference, just change things up a little bit. And you can see where I'm touching that Tombow marker again, just to get a little bit of blending and things going on with the building. And I'm touching again the fence where I've drawn the fence, the edges. I'm just touching into that. I'm pulling it into the fence, which is quite nice. It does. I do like this. If you've seen my video, I did do a video of my very first sketchbook. There's a few videos back on my channel, and I did the similar sort of thing. Well, because I was new to painting, I did an ink sketch and went in, just excited to get the watercolors added. I went in before the paint was dry with my washes, and it hit that pen and just started bleeding out. But I really enjoy the way it looked, and so it just reminds me of that now. It just reminds me of that. So that was my very first happy accident. So you can check that video out on my channel. My first sketchbook I ever did, and some of the results that I got as I was learning to paint. So I'm just having fun now. I'm just making things up and going in and adding details that are not there, just getting a nice little loose painting. I don't know why my number 2 is not working. 0.2, let's see. I think it must have got a bit wet, the tip. Oh, it's coming through now. Yeah, so with the micron pens, you just want to try and avoid drawing on wet paint, because it will sort of pack up working slightly until it dries, and you won't be able to get those lines that you want. But yeah, there we go. And gonna add some of this pen to the roof. I'm gonna have to go this way because because of the other stuff I have on the table. There's a pen. Not really drawn anything straight. I think I will have to just do a few more lines are quite spaced apart. And there's not a line here, but I think I just have to get a line just to define that chimney coming up. Like I said, it's not exactly replicating the reference, but I'm just having fun with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to paint from a reference, but you don't want to do the exact same thing, just go for it, and you can sort of make things up as you go. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to just define these. That roof, I've come too far with the roof here, but you know what, I'm going to leave it. I'm just having fun with this one and playing around. I wasn't sure when I started how this one was going to turn out. If I wanted even to go with colours that aren't even in the scene, I wanted to try, maybe. But I think just doing a whimsical painting is enough, something different for me. So I'm happy the way this is looking. Let me know what you think. Let me move back a touch. Sorry, I think the light's sort of hitting the reference photograph. But yeah, there's some bollards as well coming through the path. So let me include those. Just gives your eye something else to look at when you're going through the scene. I do apologise if you have left a comment. I'm sort of in the moment and I'm sat down, so I can't really get to you. I will get to you shortly, so just bear with me. You can leave your comments, I will read them out. Yeah, I'm just in the moment, and I don't usually sit for paintings, but I am doing for this one. And I'm thinking I might add some colour to the sky. What do you think? I think I might do that just to give it a bit more sort of depth, and I think that will work. Okay, let me go in with this pen, these trees. Okay, I think I will. Let me see. Oh, just going to see your comments. I can see, Susan, you've left a couple of comments. Let me just move the camera so I can get to you. I'll put it back on the painting. Okay, let's see. Meant to add ink in the comment above. Oh, have I missed the comment? Let me see if I can pull down. Doing well. I've been seeing some artists using black. I've been seeing some artists doing black or Payne's grey and water brush, doing what you are doing and using it for dark areas of the paintings. Yeah. When you say water brush, do you mean those brushes that contain the water and you can paint with those? If so, I did have one of those. I got given one from my nephew, for Christmas. I used it once. I wasn't sure. I did use it, but it didn't really. I think I messed up. I think it's something that I do need to invest in. I do want another water brush, but yeah, it's a similar sort of thing. Meant to add ink in the comment. Okay, in the water. Brush doing. Got to get ready if you're still on when done. Awesome, and if not, I'll catch up and rewatch. Thank you, Susan. Yeah. Yeah, so I have used one of the water brushes before. It's not something that I've not... I just tried it, let's say, because I didn't do too much with it. I wasn't sure of the results that I got, wasn't quite happy. But I think it's one of those things that you just got to persevere, give it a go, and yeah, just give it a chance to... I just wanted to wet the paper so I could add some blue, but you can see my brush is not clean. But I like this colour. I like it. It's just giving a little tone to the sky. Now let me go for a bit of cobalt blue. I'm going to be careful because I can see a little bit of green in the blue. That's one of the mixes that I like to do in my greens. Just add a little bit of blue to it to get a darker tone and to adjust those greens just for interest. Now, I'll go a little bit darker with the cobalt blue. So yeah, thanks for watching, Susan. Yes, you can watch the replay, and I really appreciate you taking time and commenting and always helping here on my channel. It really, really is appreciated. And let me add some dark to the road, and I'm just going to follow the sort of line that I've made. I don't even know whether this is a grey, but let's go for it. Yeah, okay, that's quite nice. And I'm going to try, let me see if I can try and leave a couple of lines in the road. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works. There's two little lines there, and the road sort of goes off the paper. So I'm gonna keep going with this, right to the bottom, to the corner. There we go. I think I need to just add a little bit more tone to this, so it sort of like closes the scene a bit, and a bit more water. There we go. So yeah, nice little fun painting. It's nothing serious, just having fun, and I think we're about done. Yeah, just a fun little whimsical painting. Let me grab, I'm going to grab, I do have these sepia pens, which I do like, which is ideal for this scene. And you can see Mangaka 0.1. So it's quite a thin pen. And I'm just going to add that to these trees in places. So we've got these like brown sort of tones in the black, which is quite nice. And maybe I'm not convinced with this roof, so let me do something with that. Maybe I'm going to add some Tombow and let them blend. Let me see if that's going to work. Yeah, let's try that. I'm going to go for the grey and just touch here and there. And I think I'll add some water to that and start sort of messing. Let's see. And as far as I'm aware with these Tombow markers, you don't have to let them dry. I don't think you have to let them dry before they don't blend anymore, before they start melting with the colours. But I do like those. Let me know what you think. I think I'm going to warm that up a little bit. The colour on the roof. I'm going to add a little bit of a reddy colour. Yeah, that's the one. Just to give it a little bit more, just so it looks a bit nicer. And a bit of red. There we go. And this one down here. Quite a nice colour. Maybe go back in with the Tombow, and then I can let me get in with some clean water and pull that colour. Can you see what it's doing? Quite a nice effect. Gives you that soft blend into your painting, so it's quite nice. And thinking I need to just darken these fences a little bit, this fence, so that it helps with your eye on the scene. It takes your eye to the cottage, the tea room. So just pulling that pigment, the Tombow and the pigment, and just letting them mix together. That's quite a nice effect. I'm just going to add a little bit to this line here. Ooh. Yeah, it is quite difficult if you paint on this sort of scale, this small. It can be quite tricky for me anyway. I'm speaking for myself. But I know that when I first started painting, I was encouraged to start off small, get the small pads, small sketchbooks, and you know, work on a small scale. And then when you get used to it, you can sort of graduate to bigger size. And yeah, I think that does help. But now I've been painting for some time, it's sort of like difficult to go back to small. But yeah, let me know what you think, if you prefer this sort of size. It just means condensing things right down, and that sort of thing. It's quite the challenge, especially when you start painting or drawing the scene, and you sort of like run out of room. You sort of like run out of room, and you have to chop things off, and that sort of thing, which isn't ideal. But yeah, it certainly does help maybe to start with a small scene. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually write tea room on this sign on the fence as well. Tea shop. Yep, tea shop. If I can fit it on. That's another thing that I sometimes do. Start writing with letters and discover that I've not left myself enough room. So that's not going to happen here. So I got that quite right, and I'm going to draw just line the sign, and yeah, there we go. I think that'll do for this one. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you enjoy this, please give it a like, and you can join me for, I do try and do lives every Tuesday, and so this is one of my Tuesday lives. When I can, if I can, I'd like to carry on doing that, and obviously enjoy your support, your comments. All those things do help when you're posting regularly. It does really help for me to grow. All your comments, I really do appreciate that. And also just keep watching as much as you can of my videos. That does help as well. And if you're not subscribed, of course, you can subscribe to my channel and join the community that I'm building. Got some really nice people on my channel, in my community, so they're always appreciated. But I think that's it. I wanted to do this fun little whimsical painting. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, thanks for being here. And let me see, I'm going to just join that to there. Yeah, just a fun little scene. I hope you do like it. I think we're not very clear. Maybe it's a bit blurred, but let me see if I can. I don't think it's going to be clear. Let me move that. But yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you like this simple little scene. In fact, one more thing to do. Let's remove the tape now so that you can see what I was trying to achieve. If it turns out, oh, I've ripped the paper. Got to be careful. I think it's better to rip it off faster than what I did, and so it doesn't rip the paper. But yeah, just a nice little scene. You can see with the tape attached, when you take it off, you do get ripped paper, but you do get this nice little border, and it's just a nice scene. And I really do enjoy the way this has turned out, especially with the sort of border around it. I'm quite happy with this one. Again, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.